We live in a complex world. Computers and video screens are everywhere. We're buried in a blizzard of images. Yet even in a society dominated by visual technology, we're surrounded by a torrent of words. Words on paper, words on screens, words projected everywhere. The ability to read is more important than ever. We also live in a time when almost 4 out of every 10 American 4th graders read below grade level, when the reading scores of 12th graders are slipping, when many kids, particularly from low-income families, face special challenges to their future success. We live in a world awash in words, yet many of our children are strangers to books and the wonders that fill their pages. Far too many children live in homes where books are rare. In families without books, opportunities to develop skills and stimulate imaginations are severely limited. Bright futures are stifled. Both common sense and scientific research tell us that kids cannot become good readers without access to books. They also need caring adults eager to help them learn to love books. After all, there's a simple truth about America's future that can't be ignored. Reading is fundamental. Reading is Fundamental has devoted itself to a simple but powerful idea. If you give kids access to books, let them choose what they read, and allow them to own those books, something magical occurs. Lifelong readers are born. Each year, RIF brings books, literacy services, and a message of hope to over 5 million children and their families at over 23,000 sites nationwide. RIF brings books and motivational activities to schools, community centers, youth clubs, migrant camps, detention facilities, Head Start programs, hospitals, wherever kids are at risk of slipping behind. For many children, the books they receive from RIF are the only ones they have in their home, the only ones they can truly call their own, the only ones that allow them to know that they can become readers and explore new worlds. The only ones that send a message that reading really can be fun.
We know it has an impact. We hear from parents who tell us that their children are choosing reading as a free time activity more often. We know that we have increased circulation at our library and increased participation in summer reading club programs. We hear from teachers who talk about accelerated reader programs and applaud RIF for providing books. But probably the best testament would come from the children themselves. We had a kindergarten teacher who told us that on the very first day of school, she asked her students to bring books from home to share with the rest of the class. One child brought a book that her brother got from RIF 10 years ago. It was the only book she had. So we know that RIF makes an impact on the children in this community.
RIF has distributed well over 250 million books to children in every corner of America. That's 250 million passports to a better future, 250 million opportunities to discover the joy of reading. RIF does not teach children to read, but it does teach them that reading matters, that the world of books belongs to them too.
Information is power, and we get that power through reading. And it doesn't matter if you're a beginning reader or a veteran reader, an experienced reader. It doesn't make any difference what your background is. Reading is important, and it's fun, and it's something that we should all be involved in throughout our lives.
The message that reading matters needs to be communicated to families also. So RIF works closely with parents and caregivers through programs like Family of Readers, Care to Read, and other special literacy initiatives that build on RIF's long experience in motivating children to read. These programs reflect one of RIF's core beliefs. Children are inspired to be lifelong readers through personal interaction with caring adults. A child's first and best teachers are parents, but the same principle applies to grandparents, child care providers, friends, relatives, anyone who is willing and able to share a few minutes reading with a child or encouraging them to pick up a book. It's a process that needs to start from the time they are infants and continue long beyond the read aloud years. RIF works with many corporate and institutional partners to deliver literacy resources and programs to kids and families across America, both supplementing and complementing its core community-based programs. As the nation's oldest and largest children's literacy organization, RIF works at the national and local levels to raise public awareness about the issue of literacy, about the role parents can play in nurturing lifelong readers within their own families, and RIF's own work around the nation. RIF is now online, sharing its long experience in motivating children to read on its highly regarded website at rif.org. Parents and educators can find a host of resources, activities, and information, and kids can explore the RIF Reading Planet for exciting games, activities, and interactive adventures. Reading is fundamental in the online world, too. Videos and other resources for educators bring key literacy issues to a wide audience, and RIF conducts a series of visibility and outreach programs that reflect its core values. The Community Reading Challenge embodies RIF's belief that the entire community shares in the responsibility to create a nation of readers. And the Volunteer of the Year Award is an acknowledgement of the central role that volunteers and caring adults play in RIF's programs. In fact, RIF is one of the nation's largest grassroots organizations, relying on over 435,000 volunteers to manage and implement its community-based programs.
It's their RIF program, it's their kids who are participating, and it's their library and funded with their tax dollars and with local funding that they contribute themselves. So I think it's a matter of ownership, the same way that pride and ownership is one of the things that RIF does with the kids.
I volunteer to give a little bit back, and we get back so much more than we give. These kids are great. You come home feeling like you've done some good. You've inspired maybe some child to read, or maybe lightened their day up a little bit so they don't have to think about their illness all day.
But the true story of RIF can only be told by millions of children and families whose lives have been touched by over 250 million books. By placing books in the hands of kids who would not otherwise have them, and by surrounding those kids with adults who care, eager young readers have been born.
It is fun because sometimes when you get a book, you just fall inside the story.
I share by reading it aloud to people, especially with little kids, and with my little brother. My brother likes me to read. He likes emotions for the reading he read.
It's mostly more fun for me because you get to share books with other people and you get to read them to yourself, or you can read them to other people and people can read them to you.
Reading is important because you'll need it for all your life. It's everywhere. You got to read the signs, read a poster, read anything.
Through almost 40 years working in communities in every corner of America, RIF has demonstrated a simple but profound truth. Reading is fundamental to the future of America.